we will just take 30 minutes to explain how we are going to do it in this semester. 因为那边有脚架，你到里面有脚架不急啊。
放着。哦，你就
里面那个麦克风那个。Okay, so this class is called Cloud and Fog Computing in IoT. So we know it's related to cloud and fog computing, but also with IoT. But if anyone know what the IoT means?
In
Professor Wu, can you?
Internet of things.
Internet of Things are great. Okay, so that means that we may need to deploy it. We need to design some devices, put somewhere, which used to collecting some data. So where will we put this data?
In the cloud.
In the cloud. Oh, yeah, it's in the cloud, but cloud can be too far away. Sometimes we cannot reach, right? So fog can be more near to cloud, near to ground. Okay, so we are going to create a fog too, but well, maybe you are not very clear about the definition of cloud and fog. I know you know the fog, cloud and fog in nature, but here we're talking about is computing resources. Okay. However, everyone know probably if you are going to connect to the internet, you may need to have something like Wi-Fi, right? So Wi-Fi app. So all the information will go to the Wi-Fi app. So app, Wi-Fi app, I mean S is point, not app. Okay. Wi-Fi app is so you like a hub or gateway. But what's different between S is point and the gateway? Is any student know? Okay, Aaron, can you explain what's the difference between Wi-Fi app and the gateway?
app.
Access point, Wi-Fi, access point, or router. We used to say Wi-Fi router or access point. Different. You are TA before.
No, I don't know how to explain that.
Okay. For example, if we are talking about the same language, I mean, for Wi-Fi is in Ethernet, right? So it's in the same protocol. So we will say Wi-Fi. But if we have a gateway and we receive a signal like a Bluetooth, and we will translate it to Ethernet, the TCP/IP protocols. That's different protocol. We will call this gateway. So we may have a Bluetooth gateway, okay, LoRa gateway, and IS-485 gateway. So gateway sounds like a interpreter to translate to different language. But in the computer science world, we are talking about different protocols. Okay. So anyway, in this class, we will take the training course. We will learn the cloud foundations. So at the end of this class, the student will receive a badge when you complete this course. So that will be a very good achievements. I mean, that could take away for you. You finish the class and you got a badge. The badge can show in your your social media platform like Facebook, LinkedIn, okay, to show you your capability. Okay. So that's AW IoT suite. Okay, so let's look at the application first. We start with comparing equation or finding vision. So what it is? We know the traffic surveillance system. So before, many ago, we have a surveillance system. So if we are going to find a platform, we may need to have someone to watch a video, right? But now we don't want, because we do have an edge. The edge has brain. We train them. So with the edge, or maybe we can call the fog computing, so you will be able to recognize the platform to perform the OCR, optical character recognition, to perform the OCR function. And how about a smart door? Smart door, probably in your home you do have a smart doorbell, right? Smart doorbell. Someone ring the bell, but it was not smart at all. Why is not smart at all? Like at our center, we do have a smart doorbell. When you ring the bell, I will pick up my cell phone to open the door. I am smart, but not a smart door, but not a smart doorbell. But now we can put an AI brain for this. Now we do have a real smart doorbell. Why? They do a camera. So the camera will be able to recognize people's face. Okay, like where's the Wu, where's Gao, and the Boje, you are my friends, so I put your face in a smart doorbell. Okay, so that's a file. You'll be able to perform some recognition to recognize people. Okay, to give access. Okay, so we know we want to perform something like this. We need to have a system. It's not that simple, because I just described the functions, but we are engineers. We are going to be an engineer. The engineers is not using it. We are going to design this. Okay, so you may need to have hardware. Okay, you may consider to connect to the cloud directly, or you can have you can connect to gateway or connect to the cloud directly, depending on your design. But if you connect to the cloud directly, there is some risk, because once you lost the connection, you probably lost everything. But if you have a local, like a gateway, even though you lost the connection to the cloud, you still can keep the data image or videos on your local. So once the connection comes back, you can send the videos to the backend. So that's a function of for computing. So you can make your system more resilient, okay, and can perform some smart works. Okay, so we have this basic concept. We know the surveillance system is not longer just passing a radio stream, a video stream, but you will be able to perform some works. 我这样讲太慢，太不熟。Okay, so if we look at this 3, 5, 7. If anyone know about this OSI model 7, we start with 7.
Protocol, communication protocol for TC.
Yeah, probably even though you are not studying computer science, you still all know this, because everyone knows the TCP/IP, right? But why it is? It sounds quite difficult to remember, I know. But if you can think of our physical world, it's like this. From the bottom, that's a physical layer. What's a physical layer? That's bit. Bit means 1 0, 1 0, right? Okay, it sounds like when we are writing a letter. So that's a letter, that's content. So, but what's the second layer? Second layer is a frame. Frame is like an envelope. So you write a letter, you put in your envelope. So the envelope doesn't have address, right? So you write your address on it. So that's the IP there, right? And once you start to deliver, the post office will try to define the route for you. Okay, like I sending a mail to the United States, right? So they will define, oh, I will send the mail to the Songshan Airport, no, Taoyuan Airport, and take the flight to the United States, and then deliver this mail to my friend in the United States, something like this. So they will define the route. So that's transport. Then the sections, I think I spent too much time. I try to make it shorter. 讲到现在几点了
6点55分。
I should make it shorter. We only goes to 2 pages.
Our professor has trouble in managing the time.
So
Time management.
I did not prepare for today's class.
Your clock is not sync with our standard.
我讲得很慢。一般来讲，generally I just do whatever I want. Okay, but this class may be of very pleasure. Here we have English teacher.
Yes, of course.
Okay, anyway, I try to make sure that. However, how to remember OSI model is a thing of in our daily life. We write letter, we put in the envelope, we put an address.
Nobody
we
uses
send the
OSI.
But OSI, nobody know?
See, there are 7 layers, but that's complete, protocol definition. But nowadays, no communication protocol use all of them. Maybe they use some layer. They don't use 7.
But when you delivered, the section is quite important. Okay, but what is the section? Section is like a gate, a door. Okay, because the section, once you visit the website, the server and the client, the server will open a section for you, right? But like you log in a website, the server will open a section for you. You have logged in with your password, your user account and password. Then you log in, so you can work inside this section. So you don't need to always key in your password, username, password. Okay, but once you finish, you close your browser, the section will be closed. So when you are going to go in again, you have to open another section. Okay, that's a basic concept. I will not explain all of this, but you know the best ideas, how it works. So not everyone can open the data, except you have been authorized. Understand? Okay, so that's it. So, but it sounds quite difficult if you are not studying computer science. It's very difficult for you to understand this. So, if we are going to construct something, we will use IoT. Okay, IoT is a platform. So, we have to consider how to set up a physical layer, network layer, middleware, and application layer, and business layer. So it's very simple to remember too. Physical layer is about a sensor, actuator, which you use to control things, getting data. And the network is just like the general computer world. We have a network to communicate with each others. And the middleware is like interpreters to interpret different language. Okay, because different facilities, they are speaking different language, right? Kind of. So that's a middleware's function. So every different machines, they may use different protocols. As we can see, a lot of industrial devices, they are using different protocols. Okay, so we need to make them using the same language, like in our class. Everyone can have to speak English, so we can talk to each other. So middle layers is trying to unify. Okay. So then we can put in the application layers. Application layer, like you are using your app to control, to read something. Okay. But business layer is used to analyze data to get some insight to make your system work more efficiently or develop your business better. So that's the IoT architectures. So today, we talk about Industrial 4.0. Now what's the meaning? Industrial 4.0 means we use data-driven manufacturing. Okay. IoT will play a very important role on the data collection. So that's what we are going to learn in IoT part. And for cloud computing service, it's even easier. Because if we don't make this easier, you always do this. It's very difficult to success. Okay. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, if you want to have a service, the cloud computing service, you need to have someone who are master on computer science to construct this. But now we are talking about service. We have someone already built this. So we try to make it easier. 3 layers. Infrastructure as a service. Platform as a service. And software as a service. Okay. So ICE is mean infrastructure. So you don't need to take care of all this because the company, they will provide this, or mobile network operators, they will provide this. And also the company like AWS, Amazon, Google, they provide cloud service. You don't need to take care of it. You just pay and use. And the platform is like IoT platform. So that's what we are focused on. Here we are engineers. We are going to develop the service. So we are going to develop an IoT platform so everyone can use easily to hook up the devices on this. So at the top is the service, software as a service. Okay, so that's the software we develop. We provide users to use. That's all. So you will divide to three layers. So that makes the system more simplified. Okay. So we are going to talk about this in our following classes for many times. So once you are really confused, you come back to look at this. You will be able to realize what it is. I know you are very confused because I talk too much. Okay, too much detail. But later you will understand. You will understand. So these can be too complicated for someone who has never been studied. Okay, so 我觉得
6点了。
well, probably we will end here because this is supposed to be 15 minutes.
You spend 15 minutes in one page.
没有，今天讲比较多了。Okay, so let's look at the system. If you look at AWS IoT component overview, you will be able to see that the IoT classification, device gateway, and the messages and the rule engines, all of these. So how can you refresh to this? If you are going to build this, so ICE, AWS, they provide the service. So you don't need to worry about, set the computer, set the storage, set the database, setting the network. You don't need to do that because AWS, they already set it up. And the IoT, where is IoT PaaS, platform and service, they already make it, so you just use it, right? And then you create it, the customer will use it. And then the customer is going to pay from the platform you build also. 我要讲话。Okay, but here I try to tell you a concept of messages, broker, MQTT. This concept is very simple because you are going to pass the information to the cloud, and the system will not, I mean the network will not connected. What can you do? So you need to have a broker. Broker will try to keep your data. So if someone already missed, you can come back to pick it up. For example, you order a magazine, okay? So the magazine will deliver to the bookstore, right? So, but you are not at home, or you are go abroad. But when you come back, you can go to the bookstore to pick up the magazine any time. So the concept is like this: IoT devices send to the broker, and the data will be holding on the broker. So the user can come to visit to take the information any time. So like your cell phone is off, right? Okay, but maybe I send you a message, but you did not get it now. But maybe 2 days, 3 days later, you come back from your business trip. You still can get this information. Okay, so that's a pretty good idea. I mean, the construction. Okay, so in this class we will have kickoffs. So you will just follow instructions, so you will be able to know how to construct systems. However, in this class we will emphasize you need to hands-on to build real things. I think it's that you may not remember what I say in the class, but you won't forget what you did in the class. I deeply believe this. So we will have some exercise. All of this, not just including the instruction, we also have videos, so you can watch videos. Okay, rank up. Summarize key point. Cloud computing provides scalable service. AWS IoT core bridge devices and the cloud. While the computer continue to reduce the latency. Okay, finish. Okay, thank you for joining us. We hope to see you again soon in our future Imemi activity. So, for the next.